Today, we're going to talk about what I needed to hear at my breaking point. Now, when I think of my breaking point, it was really like 2017, 2018. I had done so much work in trying to get healthy, and I had reached a size that I hadn't been since I was 16 years old, and I remember thinking, how do I get to 300 pounds? How do I have this body that just feels bigger than my clothes, bigger than everything, and feel horrible about myself? I mean, I did not like who I was. At the same time, I knew it was self-inflicted. It wasn't somebody else's fault. So I felt horrible because I was like, if anybody ever finds out how big I am, they'll think I'm the most lazy person that has ever existed. And so, I got down to the lowest weight I've ever been in my life, 196 pounds. And I still didn't like my body. I still hated the way that I looked. Still felt like something was wrong with me. I remember making a video about my eating disorder recovery, and I said, I don't know why I did it. I don't know what I was trying to prove. I don't know if I thought that being skinny made me worthy or valuable or lovable. But I knew that that path wasn't working either. So I was praying and I was crying out, God, show me the way. It's like, I don't want to be here anymore. This isn't where I want to be. At the same time, I knew I couldn't keep living the way I was living because I was going to die. So I had to make a change. But I didn't know what that change was. When I started lifting weights, I knew nothing. I just started watching YouTube videos. I would go on Instagram and look at fitness models, and I would think that's my goal. That's what I want to look like. And so I would eat clean to try to look like that, to try to have a six-pack. And I did get lean enough to see some abs, but the thing was, I wasn't happy. The thing was, I still didn't like myself. I still felt like there was something wrong with me, and I never had any strength. I couldn't lift things that were heavy, like I was scared to even pick up heavier weights, because I didn't know what to do with them. And I think deep down inside I was afraid. I was afraid that if I got strong, people would think that I was more like my dad. My parents got divorced when I was 2 years old, and my dad was very muscular. He was a bodybuilder. And so I think subconsciously I was like, I don't want to be like him. I don't want to look like him. I don't want to have muscles. I don't want to look too masculine. But here's what I needed to hear at my breaking point. Maybe it's what you need to hear too. 3 things. No, 1, raw. What I needed to hear was that I could let go of the perfectionism, could stop trying to curate my life and my body into something that looks perfect on Instagram. And instead, I could focus on raw, authentic living, being real. Showing up and sharing my life as it actually is, rather than as I wish it was. I think when you're struggling with body image, when you're struggling with feeling like your body is a problem, when you're struggling with your identity, looking at other people and comparing yourself to them, we often think we're the only ones. We think that everyone else is happy with their bodies. We think everyone else knows what they're doing. And I can tell you from experience, having talked to hundreds of thousands of women at this point, I can tell you that everybody struggles with these things. Everybody struggles with wanting to be better, whether that's losing weight or gaining muscle, wanting to look different than what they currently look like. Everybody does. And so, when I learned that I could just show up as me, the real me, and not try to curate my life into something that I thought it should look like, it helped me so much. When I stopped caring about what other people thought and I started showing up authentically, I was able to make real connections with people who loved me for me, not for an image that I had created. Number 2, magnetic. I needed to hear that I could stop seeking external validation and approval and start seeking internal validation and approval. As women, we are often taught to seek external validation. You know, you can see it in our language. It's like we say, oh, I'm so thirsty. Look at those thirsty girls over there. If they don't look at me, if they don't validate me, if they don't approve of me, then who am I? I'm not good enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not muscular enough. Whatever it is that you're seeking. And so I needed to hear that I could stop seeking that external validation and instead seek the validation within myself. What do I think about myself? How do I feel about myself? And that was a huge turning point for me, because when I realized that nobody else's opinion of me mattered, not my mom's, not my friends, not my sisters, not my competitors, that the only person whose opinion really mattered was mine, then I was free to become who I actually am without the fear of other people's judgment. Because when we chase external validation, we often end up chasing the wrong things. We end up chasing things that don't actually matter. Number 3, deeply human. I needed to hear that I didn't have to pretend to have my life together all the time. I didn't have to pretend to be perfect. I didn't have to pretend to know what I'm doing. I didn't have to pretend that I wasn't struggling. I needed to hear that it was okay to be vulnerable, to ask for help, to be open about my struggles. You know, I used to think that vulnerability was a weakness, but in reality, vulnerability is strength. Asking for help is strength. Being open about our struggles is strength. And when I learned that I could be deeply human and not try to pretend all the time, that allowed me to be authentic, allowed me to connect with others, to build deeper relationships, to actually have real friendships with people where I could be myself and they could be themselves. At the end of the day, I want you to know that if you're struggling, if you're at your breaking point, if you feel like you can't take another step, you can make it. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You are worthy. You are valuable. You are loved. And you deserve to live a life that you're proud of, a life that makes you happy. So if this resonates with you, I want you to leave a comment below and share what you needed to hear at your breaking point. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.